Alright, is this recording? I don't know anymore at this point. But yeah, before we actually get into chapter 3, here's the problem. I'm 64% into chapter 3. And you know why? Because this phone, being stupid as usual, does not want to save the recording for no reason at all. That's probably what happened with the other clip from chapter 1. When I forgot to record me finding the victim's body in the machine. It didn't save, and the same thing happened here. Literally 64% of game, and it did not save. This video better be saved too, or otherwise I'm gonna be pissed. But yeah, we found blood at the graveyard, and we found this camera. I think, who was it? The Ivan guy gave it to us because it was under, I don't know, it was under the dead body or something. Not the dead body, the dead dog. So I don't even know. But yeah, that's the conclusion we came with. That's how we came with these two things. Alright, so I may not be able to redo these parts here, trying to recover the items from the crime scenes. I can at least recover what the suspects have said. So Constant, we're really sorry to bother you again, but Percy Wolf has run away. Do you have any idea of where he might be? Why would I? I mean, the poor boy. He lost his girlfriend, and his parents are a bunch of freaks. It's a marvel he didn't run away earlier. It's not funny, Constance. His mother is devastated. Really? I thought Fran Wollcraft honestly didn't care about that kid. I talked to her a couple of times since I studied German, and she never struck me as a sentimental. Very well, Percy's venting off in the staff room. You're hiding him? But why? Why not? He's a hard-working kid, and he needed a place to hide from his parents, and he never put sauce on one of my books, unlike you, David Jones. Oh, what do you want? Leave me alone. Your mother's worried sick, Percy. At least let her know you're alright. They're crazy. We're all crazy. You saw what they did to Elphaba. What twisted vision of what my parents share. Claire, she told me that I had to help her denounce them. I tried, but they're my parents. I just can't betray them. Once she gave me some of my father's notes in German to translate, and when I realized what they were really doing with Elphaba's corpse, my dad, he tried to convince me that it was only to help my mother move on. But it killed Claire. This freaking experiment killed her. Tell me, Ivan, how were you close with Mrs. Wollcraft? She dug up her dog in your cemetery, and as you said, you see everything that happens here. Of course I knew she dug up her dog up. Did I want to protect her by not saying anything? I guess I did. I mean, Fran is a special kind of woman. We used to talk about engineering theories together, since I studied engineering in college. Then she became obsessed with nonsense about reanimation, but I didn't think much of it. However, after I found that poor dog's body all stitched up, I realized what they were really trying to do. It was all going too far. For Fran's sake, it all had to stop. I didn't think twice, and I brought the corpse back to you immediately. But I did keep something from you. This camera was just under the corpse. Maybe the person who dumped Elphaba's body here is the same person who killed this girl. It's more useful in your hands. So yeah, just those dialogue from those three. And that's how we ended up here. And we found the blood. Like I said, we found that in the graveyard. Or, I mean, not graveyard. I guess, yeah, pet cemetery graveyard. And then he gave us this camera. So yeah, that's where we left off. So Alex, did you find something interesting inside Claire's camera? Well, as you notice, Will, this is a camera that gives you the picture automatically, so there's no data inside. But you're lucky the device malfunctioned and the last photograph got stuck inside it. I developed it and half of it is obscured by a hand, as if it was taken during a struggle. It must be your killer. It's a shaky close-up on an eye with no other recognizable element. Claire must have had the presence of mind to try to take a picture of her aggressor. So I can tell you, the killer has brown eyes. I analyzed the blood you found on a tree back at the cemetery. I can tell you it doesn't come from a human being. In fact, I compared it with the blood of the poor little dog you found, and it's a match. The person who bought it back at the cemetery must have hit the tree while carrying it. So I took a better look at the corpse, and some of the stitches on the head are gone. The blood must have come from there. The killer must have carried it in their arms. So I tried calculating the height of this person, taking the account that they were carrying the corpse against their torso, and I found out that your killer must be 6 foot tall. This is it, Will. It's time to put Claire's killer behind bars. And like I said, guys, sorry that the other video didn't save. I hope this one saves at least. But yeah, let's catch our killer. I actually don't know who it could be. Wait, what? Is he below 6 feet? I don't think it can't be her. She's above. Okay, it has to be exactly 6 feet, so it's him. I was confused for a second. Because that guy was like relatively close. I must admit, Percy, of all people involved in this case, you're not the one I suspected the most. Why the heck did you kill Claire? I didn't mean to. I mean, I got carried away. The whole situation was a mess. I came back to the house because I had forgotten my lunch, and she was there. The previous day. Claire, what are you doing here? What are you doing? Are you taking pictures of my dad's lab? I'm doing what I should have done weeks ago. I'm going to expose all this madness to the police. Your family is crazy, and you're all going down. What are you talking about, baby? We're going to bring my father to reason, and there'll be no more experiments. Isn't that what you want? It's not just your dad. Your mom helps him. Heck, I'm pretty sure it was her idea in the first place. And the bones that are missing from the museum. Percy, where are they? Tell me. Claire, please calm down. You don't want to hurt us, do you? We just want to reason my dad, and you don't want to hurt us. I want to tell everyone what sick, mad people you all are. They're going to stop you. They're going to destroy you because that's all you deserve. You can't stop me. No, Claire, you won't. I can't let you do that. So I stopped her. I knocked her out, pulled her on the table, and put the power on. She didn't deserve to die, but I couldn't let her leave. I just couldn't. But then I couldn't take her off the machine, so I took everything I could. Her camera and Alfaba. And I dumped them at the cemetery. I didn't want my parents to be in even more trouble. If it were not for that darn blackout, you would have never known. Percy Wollcraft, you are here today to answer for the brutal murder of Claire Goodwin. What do you have to say for yourself, for your defense? My little baby did nothing wrong. He protected his family like any loving son would have. Be strong, Percy. I'm sorry, Mommy. I didn't want to put you in any trouble. I'm sorry. You didn't, my son. While I may disapprove of your actions, I know they come from a good place. I'm proud of you, son. Silence in the court. I'm not finished with you two. We'll talk about your offenses later. Percy Wollcraft, you killed this poor woman in cold blood while she was trying to report a criminal endeavor. And the only guilt you show is towards your parents. She wanted to destroy us. She wanted to destroy my family. I would kill her 100 times more if I had to. Percy Wollcraft, I now condemn you to 30 years in prison for the murder of Claire Goodwin, without the possibility of parole. Court dismissed. So there it is, Will. Claire fell victim to the most dysfunctional family in Greensboro. And I thought my folks were messed up. She was only trying to do what was right, and she got killed for it. But then, I wonder if Percy could have ended up any different. When resurrecting a dead dog is the biggest proof of love your parents can give each other, how are you supposed to turn out okay? Captain Will, thank you for your hard work. This investigation would have gone to the dogs without you. This reminds me, I just got a call from the pet cemetery's manager, Ivan Imlay. He says the cemetery had been vandalized. I need you to go check on this. And then you have to stop by the museum. Mrs. Bell expressly requested your help there. She was behemoth. Whatever. Impossible. Constance didn't even recognize me as a functioning adult. Why would she want us to help her? Actually, Mrs. Bell only mentioned Captain Will, but I heard her mumble something about ketchup. Anyways, you should go get to work now. Hey Will, I've been thinking about Victor Wollcraft and his crazy machine. I'm worried he might have built something other dangerous devices in his lab. Also, well, I'm super curious to see what other kind of invention he's built up. I admit it. Still, I think it'll be safer to pay him a visit. Would you like to come with me? Captain Will, to what do I owe the displeasure of having you inspecting my house again? Well, I'd like to take a look at your machines. I'm the only one who analyzed the one Captain Will took from your garage. Huh, as if you could understand how my inventions work by yourself. Since I like to invent my own machines during my free time too, I think I have more capable of. Please, as if your petty little robots could compare to my stupendous inventions. Come in, you can observe my machines as long as you want. I highly doubt you understand them anyway. Alright, well, let's show that pretty-ish prick who we are. With you, I'm sure we can discover whatever he's working on in his garage. Captain Will, I'm glad they sent you. My cemetery has been vandalized. I was doing my daily routine, taking care of the graves, as usual, when I noticed 2 or 3 young men at the gates. I didn't pay them attention, thinking they were to mourn their pet. But then I heard a big noise. Just as I looked towards the entrance, the cemetery's sculpture and those vandals had vanished. They probably destroyed it. And now I can't find the sculpture. I've looked around the cemetery, but didn't find anything. Please, Captain Will, can you look for it too? Captain Will, thank you for coming so quickly. I'm facing a huge issue here in the museum. What's going on, Mrs. Bell? Are you alright? Did someone die again? What? No one's dead, of course. No need to be overdramatic, David Jones. Why would there always be a murder? My problem is less human, if I dare say. You see, I was checking everything in the museum after its closing time, when I noticed some weird prints on the ground. They look like animal prints. Animal prints, can you imagine? It means an animal profaned that sacred place of culture and knowledge. But I can't fathom how it happened, because I've never let any animal enter the museum's ground. You must take a look at those prints, Captain Will, and identify that animal. What did you find, Will? I don't know what this machine is exactly. I've never seen anything like this. I know how to activate it though. See that little screen here? We need the password, but I guess cracking it won't be a problem for you. Well done, Will. Those marble chunks could be the sculpture those juvenile offenders broke. We can't give it back to Ivan like this. Do you think you can repair it? Well done, Will. Here are the animal prints Constance told us about. Those look like a bird's claw prints to me, but I'm not sure. There's an electronic display over there showing prints from pretty much every animal ever. We can compare our prints with the data to identify our culprit's species. Awesome, Will. You cracked the machine's code in a flash. No technology in this room could be a hurdle to your talent. Let me see this machine. I need to run some tests in my lab just to be sure what it does. As usual, nothing is too complicated to restore for you, Will. The cemetery can have its watchful sculpture back. Let's show your work to Ivan. What? A dodo? I thought they were extinct. So, how did those dodo prints appear in the museum? We should tell our conclusions to Constance. She won't believe us. Here you go, Ivan. Captain Will found and restored your sculpture. The cemetery can go back to its usual routine now. Thank you so much, Captain Will. After all, what would be Ellington Pet Cemetery without Ellington itself? William Cooper's dog was the main reason this place, and later the dog pageant, were created. And given the district's people's obsession with the dog pageant, I don't think they take the destruction of this symbol well. That being said, Captain Will, do you really plan to go on to see the dog pageant in those clothes? This won't do. You need something less common to impress the citizens. A dodo? Come on, Captain Will. Dodos have been extinct for centuries. I don't know what kind of absurdity to expect from Jones, but coming from you? This is disappointing. What do you mean absurd? I mean, we know this is hard to believe, but those prints really belong to a dodo. Captain Will can't be wrong about this. Well, there is a dodo reproduction in the exhibit. Let me see. Oh, the Ruffians. Someone inked the dodo's paws. The bandits, they created those prints for fun, I bet. David Jones, did you have something to do with those absurdities? Of course not. Captain Will can testify. I bet the person who made the prints just wanted to have fun. Maybe you should organize a game with animal prints for the children in the museum. So more of those noisy youngsters would come over my dead body. They make enough damage as it is. Stop spitting nonsense, David Jones, and let me give a reward to Captain Will on behalf of the museum. Ooh, I love money. Well, I did it. I found what Victor's machine does. It is totally harmless, which is good. It was also unfinished. I had to complete a structure myself to make it function. Anyway, call me the high-tech king, because thanks to my engineering and programming knowledge, I can tell you that this machine has been designed to make burgers. I'm not kidding, Will. This machine is impressive. It's a piece of art. And I would know. I fixed it myself. Come on. Come with me. We have to talk about it with Vector. So, what did you do to my machine? I hope you didn't damage it. Your vain attempts to comprehend my genius. I spent a lot of time working on this one. Yeah, relax, Mr. Wollcraft. Your burger maker is intact. Actually, I even finished it. It's a nice machine. Finding good enough parts was a real challenge. You finished it? I can't believe it. Let me see. What kind of rotors did you put in it? It fit perfectly. That was my only missing piece. You have to tell me where you found those. Everyone in this town seems weirdly attracted to burgers. I thought they could use such a machine. I was trying to make ourselves some good burgers. The ingredients go here. This is the sauce button, the cheese menu. One long technical discussion later. I'm very happy you visited, Captain Will. I already knew you were a very good captain. And I'm starting to think your team is full of geniuses. But pleasure was talking with right-brained people. I must leave. Since Percy's in jail, Fran is sadder than ever. Anyway, I hope you will like my machine's burgers. Here, why don't you take 3? Wow, I'm stacked. Well, guys, that'll be the end of this case. Are you guys ready for this one? Oh. But yeah, next time we're going to be doing case 31, which is the final case at the Historical Center. Wow. And we'll be moving on to the University District. So yeah, guys, I love you all. Get out.